The criminal trial of a former assistant principal in Virginia is now underway. Ebony Parker facing 8 felony counts of child abuse and neglect in connection to the case of a first-grade student shooting his teacher 3 years ago.
Prosecutors allege Parker ignored warnings about the 6-year-old having a gun before that student shot his teacher, Abigail Zwerner, in the hand and chest. Last year, a jury awarded Zwerner $10 million in a civil trial after finding Parker liable in the shooting. NBC News legal affairs reporter Gary Grumbach joins us now. So, Gary, what are we expecting today during this jury selection process?
Yeah, jury selection is going on as we speak. Judge Rebecca Robinson there in Newport News, Virginia, trying to get this jury down to 12 jurors and 2 alternates. There was a lot of discussion ahead of jury selection over what exactly to ask the jurors during what's called voir dire when they're trying to whittle down to get to the actual jury itself. Of course, Ebony Parker's team wants to make sure there's no teachers or first responders on the jury, because these are people that could be directly impacted or really have a soft spot for what has happened to Abigail Zwerner in this case. This will take a few hours, and then they'll get right into opening statements this afternoon. Virginia prosecutors are going to argue that Ebony Parker showed a willful disregard for human life, specifically the children that were in the classroom with the 6-year-old child who ended up shooting his teacher. Parker's team says this is a tragic situation all around, but it wasn't Dr. Ebony Parker's fault, guys.
Is there a template, Gary, already for this case as we look at the fact that there was already a civil trial here and the types of arguments that both sides are going to be making?
It's going to be very similar, but the potential impact for Ebony Parker is much, much greater. During the civil trial, as you guys mentioned, Abigail Zwerner was awarded $10 million, but that wasn't something that the assistant principal had to pay herself. It was actually paid for by this pool of insurance, pool of public bodies across the Commonwealth of Virginia. If Ebony Parker is convicted on 8 counts of child neglect, she could spend up to 40 years behind bars. So significant consequences for Parker. If she's found guilty, we expect this trial to last about 3 days.
All right. Gary Grumbach, we appreciate it. Thank you.
We are going to bring in NBC News legal analyst Misty now. Obviously, Misty, there could be broader implications here and potentially a paradigm shift, right? As you're seeing parents and potentially school employees held accountable for school shootings. We saw this example with Michigan a few years ago and the Crumblies. Is there something that could be sort of paving the way here? Is this an important case in that sense?
It's absolutely an important case. We've seen a lot of these cases that have really expanded criminal culpability to others outside of just the person who brings that gun in, and specifically with school shootings. So this is a little bit unique because this is a school official. We've seen parents. In fact, in this case, the shooter's mother did plead guilty to a crime. So that's one piece of it. But when you're talking about a school official, there's a case like this in Florida as well. And it's really expanding who could ultimately be held responsible. The standard here, very, very high. Reckless disregard for human life. So you're talking about just completely ignoring a risk and failing to take any action. So it's a very, very high standard under the criminal law.
So in this case, the civil trial came before the criminal trial. Does that have any impact? Does that happen very rarely?
It is so rare because you potentially put yourself in a problem if you're the defendant and the civil case goes first, because you don't have the same protections on the civil side that you do on the criminal side. For instance, Parker did sit for a deposition, so there's testimony out there potentially. It can impact your ability of whether or not to take the stand, which she did not in the civil case. Her lawyers fought to pause that criminal case before the civil case before the criminal case went forward. The judge said no. So ultimately, we saw this a bit out of order, but we have a little bit of a preview of what we could expect during the criminal trial.
When you talked about the bar, that reckless endangerment, trying to sort of form the contours of that, is just parents complaining on a regular basis or other students? What would it take to meet that mark?
It is truly a wanton disregard for human life, meaning your actions or your failures to act in this case were so severe that you put people at risk, that you simply ignored something which was a foreseeable risk of potential death. So it is really, really high. It's going to be a lot different than the civil standard. Case is going to play out a bit differently because we heard a lot about Abigail Zwerner's damages during the civil case. That's not as relevant here. This is going to be all about the timeline. But I think those school officials that we heard testify during the civil case, that's going to set out that timeline during the criminal trial.
It is high bar, but we did hear people did try to warn her that day. So we'll see how that comes into play here.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.